Ba-na-na-na-na-na, hey, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum, ba-na-na-na-na-na, hey, ba-dum-bum-bum,
Ladies and
ba-da-da-da.
gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Koco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. Boom, boom, here shaking the room. Live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, join me there way across the pond in Tokyo, Japan. The man who has not had any sleep. He's running off a pot of coffee and currently chewing on coca leaves right now. Dead Coco.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm just glad we got this. We can get this out of the way, bro. For real, zero sleep, zero sleep. So I might like. Was there an elephant at Wrestle Kingdom night too? I don't know. Overall, we'll try to keep it short and sweet, but we will rock live comments if there is any. Um, Overall, I just give it a huge win. I think the 2 day thing might be a bad idea. People just are tired. The attendance wasn't the same, but it was still magical. And yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. Now, I was there live. You were there watching. I heard there were some tech problems. Booms. What was your experience? Was it a win as well?
Yeah, it was definitely a win. This is actually kind of strange. New Japan has never done this before. The two-night Wrestle Kingdom. This has just never been done before. So they were trying some new things. I'm thinking maybe they learned some things from this experience. At least I hope they did. Overall, it was a great show. It was an enjoyable show. I hate that the second night wasn't as well attended as the first. This one was just about just a hair over 30,000 people attending. And I think maybe the thing that hurt it is the fact that half the card wasn't even filled out because you were waiting on people to win on night one to find out who's going to go over to night two. And some people are like, well, I really don't want to drop that kind of cash if I don't know everything that's going to be happening on night two.
And
But
I,
it was just a great experience. It was a great experience. I really want to applaud New Japan for taking a risk. I really feel like WWE could do something like this for a WrestleMania, other than having like one like show go on like 8 fucking hours. You split it up into two 4-hour days. They really took a chance here, and I think it paid off. I think it was a great show, great stories. Just hats off to New Japan.
and I have to agree. And a lot of people were excited, but here was a few of the things that I heard about. Like, there is a positive experience, but you have to listen to the negative stuff too. And these are some of the things that I heard. 1-4 is really Wrestle Kingdom. Like, they were like really, they're traditionalist. Like, no, 1-4 is Wrestle Kingdom. I don't care what happens the second day. I heard that. I also heard he's the IWGP champ. Why would he go for the IC title? That I heard that a lot. Um, I don't think the Japanese fans that I've got to speak with and read online, they were not feeling double champ. One of my Japanese friends was like, double champ makes sense if it's two different companies. It's just fucking Ghetto saying, yeah, that guy's awesome twice. So I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm hoping it could be a new tradition, or maybe it's just when it lands on a weekend. But still, it was still pretty packed, and it was still pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
from my
So
from what I've heard, and granted, you may have heard have better intel than I have because you're actually over there in Japan. But I heard the only reason they did this is because 1-4 and 1-5 fell on a weekend. Now this is not going to be like a yearly thing where they're going to drag it, every Wrestle Kingdom out 2 days. But I figured, they kind of looked at the calendar and said, well, it's on a weekend. Let's, people are going to have time off. Let's just see what happens. So, they sold in a grand total 70,000 tickets. And at the end of the day, kids, that's not bad.
yeah. And dude, the New Japan shop, I regret not taking a picture. A line around the block. A line around the block twice, and people were confused. They're like, wait, what? And like the guys are trying to explain, like, yeah, you have to go around the block twice. It was insane, the line. Like, me and Henka from Henka AM, we literally just turned around the corner. Like, yeah, we live in Japan. We can come another day. It was insane. So the New Japan shop, they made a pretty penny today. Overall, great experience. It did feel tiring and it didn't feel as special, even though I think day two had the better card. So, Booms, let's talk pre-show. We're gonna try to go a little bit quick today because I'm going back to work tomorrow and I haven't slept in 48 hours. So, Booms, it might be a little bit. So, Bear Friend says Happy New Year, Boom Boom. Pancake
Oh,
says,
happy
damn
New
it, my
Year, friend.
prediction was wrong. Yeah, you predicted that what they were advertising wasn't going to happen, Pancake. You took a risk. You took a risk. That's like saying, I don't think the Super Bowl's going to happen. It's like, you took a risk. I appreciate your risk, but now you have to pay the piper. He's like,
You bet zero. You bet double zero on the roulette wheel.
exactly. You know, they've been advertising for 6 months. That's just not going to happen. So it happened. What they advertised for the last 6 months happened. I love you, Pancake. All right, Booms. I don't know if you saw the pre-show. Did you see the pre-show?
Yes,
Was that
yeah, I did
okay? Go
watch
ahead,
the
sir.
pre-show. That was the gauntlet match for the Never Openweight Six-Man Tag Team Championships. We've got new champs, Lij, of course, being represented by Bushi, Evil, and Shingo Takagi. They defeated multiple teams here. You had Chaos, you had um, Robbie Eagles, Yoshihashi, and Tomohiro Ishii, uh, Kanemaru, Desperado, and Taichi, Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi, Bad Luck Fale, and of course the champs themselves, Taguchi, Makabe, and Toru Yano. I think it was okay for what it was. By the way, I did hear some complaints about the referee in this one. They used the
Yeah, he
Rev
messed
Pro
up.
referee.
Yeah, they
He
messed up a
fucked up
couple
a couple
times.
of there was a couple of times. There was one where, and this is just me watching on New Japan World. Robbie Eagles took the grenade from Fale, and it was a clear visual pin 3 count pinfall. But he, said, "Oh no, he got his shoulder up," and I was like, either Eagles forgot to kick out or somebody forgot to come in to make the save. But either way around, he covered. The referee's like, "Oh no, no, he got his shoulder up," and then at the very end, the referee counted a quick 3 pin on, at least I thought it was a quick 3 pin on Ishii when Evil hit him with something like, I think it was like Darkness Falls or something. And then, Ishii kind of popped up like, what the fuck? And then Evil's like, oh, fuck it, we'll do the finish anyway, and hit him with Everything is Evil. Uh, just to kind of, I guess maybe because that's what they planned out. That was supposed to be the ending, but either way around, Lij new champions. Hopefully they don't make this Six-Man Tag Team Championship a joke. So
Well,
I thought it was okay for what it was. They kept it short.
and I think the ref made a lot of mistakes, and I just feel like he was overwhelmed. You know what I mean? But I think Lij winning the titles help because then Lij will have championships with the double champ, and you know they could, with the popularity, with selling the merch, with being basically the face of the company as of right now, it might help the titles. It might be like, okay, this shit is important. Um, I think we need the Lij guys to come out together and them to be wearing the title. We always have to constantly be seeing those titles to make them even a little bit valuable, just a little bit valuable. But yeah, overall, and then kayfabe wise, question of the day, kayfabe wise, story wise, what would Makabe have in common with the other two fucking idiots? We were just talking, like,
Well,
just
I know
100%
with
kayfabe
Toru
wise.
Yano, they were part of Great Bash Heel together. That I know. That's the only connection I know that they have. As far as Taguchi, I'm not sure. I think it was just they pulled 3 names out of a hat and said, "Okay, you guys are becoming Six-Man Tag Team Champions." They defended the belts very rarely. Hell, they didn't even come out with them half the time when they were competing in singles or tag matches. So, and therefore they're the longest reigning Six-Man Tag Champs.
All right, let's get to the main card. Booms, break it down, and then I'll try to tell you what it was like in the arena.
All right. Well, we have first. It was a tag team match. It was Jushin Thunder Liger's retirement match. He teamed up with Naoki Sano to take on fucking, I'm just calling them Dragon Lee and Hiromu Takahashi. I guess it was the story here was, former rivals, partnering up one last ride here for Liger. I didn't know. I didn't think Liger was going to, win his final match, especially after what happened the night before. But and I knew Sano wasn't going to eat the pin, but it was a good match. Liger did not go quietly into the night. He did fight to the end. Eventually, they even had the two guys. You even had Lee and Takahashi sitting there kind of playing heel a little bit with them. Putting the boots to Liger early. But ultimately, Jushin Thunder Liger was pinned, and I mean, it really just didn't sink in until after, after the bell rang, and it was just like, well, that's, that's it. We're not going to see him. I mean, it was great that they brought in Fujiwara for his corner for his final match. It was great that they got to see him do, some of the old moves. But ultimately, Hiromu hit the time bomb, pins Liger, and he's had one hell of a career. Nothing to be. I mean, it's just kind of it's sad. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And I like that. He went out. Didn't ask for any special treatment. They kind of insisted they do this for him at the Tokyo Dome, and I think it was a great farewell. And he's not going to unmask. I think he's still going to be kind of working out and hanging around New Japan. So it's not. It's just an end of this chapter, beginning of a different chapter for Liger. And it was, please tell me what it was like there, because I can imagine just, there were some tears.
It was, first off, Liger coming out, everyone was pumped the fuck up, man. People were cheering, they were singing along, and then, I don't know what the fuck happened, but as soon as they fucking Liger was like in the ring and shit got fucking real, there was not a kill of the crowd. This wasn't a Jay White moment. This was a moment like people were going to let this fucking sink in. You know what I mean? Like they were there and they were like, we are going to let this sink in. And it was like a celebration of his career, but it had a happy funeral feel to it. You know what I mean? And when it was over, people were fucking bawling in the crowd. Not like last time it was like just man tears, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, what's wrong? Like,
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Yeah, it was, dude, they didn't even fucking hide it, dude. People were fucking bawling. Women, men, everyone had fucking tears in their eyes. And
you kind of need to tell me what happened after the match, because as soon as Liger ate that pin, the stream went out on New Japan World, and I about lost my fucking shit.
Thank God, because I was probably on the screen crying like a bitch. I mean, there's no proof. There's no video proof of anyone crying. They just gave little speeches and they helped Liger get up and they bowed and then they headed out. And yeah, it was just an emotional tears, happiness. And then last day one, they switched to LIJ, which is kind of like, oh, they're cool, they're badasses. It's like that. They went to a comedy video with Roppongi 3K that went over like a wet fart. It was just, imagine like your closest family member dying and then Krusty the Clown follows. You know what I mean? It was, it went over like a wet fart. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. And then Roppongi 3K had a comedy match because I think they were trying to lighten it up. Bullet Club kept scratching their back. They kept kicking them in the nuts, and then they had a cup. It was very. Just imagine 4 Llanos, but with cruiserweight abilities. You know what I mean? And at the very end, they outsmarted them because they were wearing dick cups, and one dude put a dick cup in his mouth to celebrate. And I was like,
"Yep, that was you." Yeah. Now I did manage to get that match. I finally managed to get New Japan World back. I had to like refresh my computer. I had to like unplug and replug in my Chromecast. Eventually, I managed to get it up and running, but it took about 6-7 minutes into that match before everything was finally back up and running. From what I saw, it was great. I enjoyed the fast pace. I did see the where El Phantasmo was trying to low blow Show, but then he hurt his hand, and then Show pulls out, he was wearing a protective cup, and I was like, dude, don't throw that,
And then you
because
get
remember
punched
they've
in the
been
nuts
selling.
again.
Exactly. Now he knows that you don't have a cup. Now he's gonna definitely kick you right in the dick, and you're gonna, it's gonna hurt. But they kind of unveiled like a new finisher. It's like a shock arrow double stomp, which I thought kind of looked pretty cool. They get the pin. Roppongi 3K new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. And when they were like, aha, we outsmarted them. We knew they've been low blowing us. They've been cheating. So this time we came prepared. And then took out his cup, put part of it in his mouth, and I'm like, okay, don't ever do that. No, don't ever, don't, no, no. Under no circumstances do you. If you just would have held it up, that would have been fine. But no, you don't bite on the edge of it. You don't look edgy. You don't look cool. You look like a fucking idiot who just literally put in his mouth on something that was on his balls.
Yeah. So to me, I don't know. It was entertaining. It just didn't feel right. Next, we have the Rev Pro Wrestling British Heavyweight Championship match. Jesus fucking Christ. They didn't make that fucking title for a punch drunk idiot like me. Booms, hot tag to you. Break it down.
This one was actually really good. It went fast. I mean, this thing zipped by. I mean, it was about what you thought it would be. Sonata and Zack Sabre Jr. They had a great series of like reversals. I mean, they kept reversing pins. Taiga Hattori, couldn't even, every time they were trying to go for a pin attempt, I mean, he didn't even have time to get in position to slap, a one count, let alone a three. They went back and forth, traded blows. Eventually, penalty kick by Sabre. He followed up with some uppercuts. Sonata was trying to get in position with Skull in. Then they started going back and forth with the flips with the European clutches, and eventually Sabre outsmarted Sonata. He countered and got into that bridging pin he does, got the win, and you could just see like the frustration on Sonata's face. It's just like boom, it was just over. So I think this is technical wrestling done right. Usually technical wrestling, it's people hold like a headlock for 5 minutes, then they change over to an armbar for 10 minutes, and this one, I mean, they were playing off each other extremely well. They were wrenching arms, legs, anything they could get a hold of. They were trading blows, countering pins. It just, and it seemed fitting that it was. I was kind of disappointed that Sonata didn't win because I kind of want to see Sonata as a major singles champion. Just not meant to be. I hope it leads to bigger and better things in the future. But props to both guys. And here's another question: if you ever needed like a big smarmy heel, to be like a fool for a good guy, why has Zack Sabre Jr. been ignored? I mean, why was he never in the mix? Why did we get Jay White for IWGP champion? Why not Zack Sabre Jr.? He's got a lot more credibility, and he's been around before. And to me, it would have made sense for him to take the next step. So I don't understand why ZSJ's been ignored.
I don't know. It might just be the clique of people I hang out with, and it might just be the section I sat in. But if it's like, 20 random strangers feel this way, and 20 people that I fucking talk about pro wrestling feel about this way, I think Zack Sabre Jr. isn't really respected as a technical genius as he's sold as here. People were grumbling, and they're like, "Oh, I hope fucking Sonata just beats his ass." Like it's not heel heat. It's like you're not what you say you are heat. You know what I mean? And I don't know. He does have some great transitions, but I'm just gonna quote someone that fucking said the greatest fucking thing ever, and I wish I videotaped it. We're just sitting there, and it's like, we were in a really big English-speaking section. There was like a lot of fucking foreigners, and like the few Japanese people that were there also spoke English. So like it was and dude, this Japanese guy stands the fuck up, and people are clapping for Zack Sabre Jr. And he goes, "If you fucking clap this motherfucker," he didn't say motherfucker, but he's like, "If you clap for him, Sakuraba means nothing. And it went silent in our fucking, like, dude, he just stood up. He's like, no, we're not clapping for him. We are not. He is no Sakuraba. And, like, I don't know why. I think maybe it's because he does stuff that, I don't know. Now, that was the feel. Now I'm just going to talk my personal opinion. If you're a technical guy, it should work. And this is where me and Wrestling Renton don't see eye to eye. He's like, well, in pro wrestling, they don't do it. Yeah, but pro wrestling is an art form. When you're like, I'm a technical guy, you need to be like Sakuraba. You need to be like, oh no, this shit really works. And I don't know if that's the problem, but there's definitely a problem. And Sonata not winning was kind of maybe the disappointment of the night, but I was shocked because you sometimes you're in a bubble, you know what I mean, and you're like, well, fucking my 10, 20 fucking friends hate him, but then you're like, when random strangers are like, fuck this guy, there's a problem, and
You know, and here's another question. If we talk about, ZSG's been ignored, especially as a heel, where do you go with Sonata? I mean, right now the story with him is he can't win the big one. He can't win. I mean, yeah, he can win tag team gold with Evil all he wants. He can win six-man gold with LIJ, but when it comes to like singles, I mean, for whatever reason, he can't get it done. He has been, with the exception of like getting a win over Okada in that match at the G1 that damn near went the time limit, he is like, he's not, I mean, he is like 0 for the century
yeah,
on singles matches, and I feel like this is a guy that they want to push to the next level where he's not, I'm not going to say he's going to be the main event player, but he's definitely going to be an upper mid-card guy, I guess lower main event, upper mid-card, however you want to put it.
yeah, I think it was a
But yet,
mistake not to put the title on
he can't
Sonata.
get a win.
Yeah. And then we're just going to play devil's advocate here with Mr. Pancake. Japan are just whiny bitches. That's why they don't like Zack Sabre Jr. No. I find that really fucking rich coming from an American pro wrestling fan. You know what I mean? No, Japan fans know what they want. You know what I mean? And you have to fucking earn their fucking respect. And that's where it is. And I don't think he's earned it. I think the hype and the English commentary have given it to him, but yeah. My bad are just depressed bitches, I guess. I mean, if you want to be a fucking dick and point at it, but as some of the best wrestlers, I'm not having this conversation. This is stupid. Booms. Let's go to the next match.
Next, we had the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship match. We had Jon Moxley defending against Juice Robinson. Not as brutal as the Texas Death Match the night before, but still a pretty good one. Juice Robinson in his Mr. Slave outfit. That's a joke. You can all laugh. These two started trading blows pretty much early on. There's a lot of teasing the Pulp friction. Juice Robinson hitting some lariats, countered a Death Rider. I thought he was going to win right there with a 2 count. Wasn't meant to be. They both got up to their feet. They started trading strikes. Moxley got leveled by a left-handed God. Put Moxley down. He was going to go for Pulp Friction again. Countered Death Rider. Moxley wins and retains. And now this got me thinking here. Now, does this mean that, and again, I'm not trying to spread rumors, spread gossip. Does this mean that, there's a little bit of a deal? Well, I wouldn't even say no, you know what? No. I was going to say, maybe does that mean there's like a little bit of a deal with AEW? But I was like, no, he was under a separate contract, so that's kind of stupid. But I guess this means Moxley is going to be back. And he's going to have to defend that championship. So I'm interested to see where they go with that. And real quick, I'll talk about what happened just in a moment. But overall, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a pretty good, hard hitting. It really felt like urgent. They had some spots where Robinson, just really took a beating and still managed to come back. it's not a complete total loss. I kind of regret picking him because I was like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me at the end they're going to have two dual champions? Because you were looking at Juice being the one half of the tag team champions and then also the U.S. champ. I was like, nah, there's probably not going to have two dual champions, especially in one night. So it made sense for Moxley to win. I'm just kind of want to see about how maybe this is going to be, maybe his swan song will be tomorrow night on New Year's Dash. But no, it was a pretty good one. What do you think about it there, Coco?
Um, well, I'll definitely talk about what happens after the match, but I thought the match was pretty decent. I don't know. It was good. It's not one of those you praise it, but you also don't bash it. It would be like, I don't know, a 1 out of 10. It's an 8. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, it got its job done. Um, Overall, I enjoyed it. I was shocked that Moxley won, and Wrestle Kingdom 13 had a lot of drama and rumors going into it. And this year, they controlled the drama and rumors. And, a lot of American fans, we'll just say WWE fans, are like, oh, they worked you, brother. This is them fucking working us, and the product still be good. This is them working us, and not us going, okay, I'm done watching this. They worked us about Jon Moxley possibly leaving through dramas, and they fucking super worked us about who appears next. And I just want to tell a little bit of story. I was like, man, if I could take a piss break, dude. I'm a fucking old man, dude. I pissed like 27 times an event. And fucking there's not enough Jay Weight matches to fucking make sure that I can piss in between the show. So I go, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to go take a piss. So I'm about to take a piss. I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot my phone. That was a blessing from Terry Funk. I hear the fucking music. Huh? What's going on? This was the fucking pop of the night. People fucking went insane. And Suzuki
Real quick,
comes out.
whose music played, Coco?
Suzuki's. His fucking music came out, and he just goes, and he gave him a gotch style pile driver, and they're beating the fucking shit out of each other. And it was a way of saying, we fucking worked you. And you know what? You're not fucking leaving. You're not fucking pissed. You're not dun 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 dun. So overall, I was beyond fucking impressed by it and super happy. And I want to give a shout out to Paul Heyman guy who gave us a host. Much love. So yeah, overall, just super happy. And Liger was the most emotional, saddest part, and this was the fucking pop of the night. Pop of the fucking night. It was just insane. And, going into 13, they had a lot of drama and rumors that they couldn't control. This year, they're like, let's control those drama and rumors. And it gave us the fucking one of the greatest moments in fucking Wrestle Kingdom history, especially if you were there live. And I thank Terry Funk. I forgot my phone. Because could you imagine being in a pisser during this? Whew, damn, my old man bladder. Damn it to hell. Booms. Mm-hmm. In the stadium, in the Tokyo Dome, people lost their shit. How was it on television?
I mean, it's just like as soon as he finishes, as soon as the match finishes, and there's Moxley speaking, and then all of a sudden, you hear, Kaze ni Nare start hitting. I mean, just I could hear whoa, I could hear that, and then commentary selling it. There's Kevin Kelly, there's Gino Gambino. They're all like, "Oh my God, here he comes!" And it's like, and he's out in the streets. Oh no, he's taking off the track pants, and it was like, "Oh shit, we know this." I thought it was going to be an impromptu challenge, and I was like, that would be odd, especially for New Japan. The WWE, yeah, you can you can see something like that happening, but not New Japan. They don't do like this impromptu challenge, ring the bell. Oh, now we've got another champion. No, they don't. I was like, I hope they're not going to do it, but they didn't. And then Chris Charlton, the translation, with Suzuki, it was like he was just even more evil. It's like, who the hell do you think you're picking a fight with? And then, wow, I mean, it was a big surprise. It was a pleasant surprise, and I absolutely loved every minute of it.
All right, so yeah, it was probably the pop of the night, the moment of the
And,
night.
and I did like it because here's what it does. It now moves Juice Robinson away from the U.S. title scene It puts him in the tag team, solidifies right now that he's going to be in the tag division right now with Finn Juice. And then now, not only, does it show that Moxley's going to continue to work with New Japan, and now who's going to be his first challenger that gets me excited, that gets me hyped. Yeah, I actually want to see Moxley versus Suzuki.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking amazing. All right, Booms. Hot tag to you. It's not even a hot tag. I just walk over and fucking slap the turnbuckle. And you're like, is that even a tag? I'm like, you got this, brother. Go ahead.
Next, it was for the Never Openweight Championship.
Oh, shit. No,
Kenta
that's a
versus
good match. I thought that was the Jay White match
Hiroki.
next. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, no, Hiroki Goto. This was just a brawl. They started brawling at the bell. These two traded blows. I like it towards the end when Kenta planted um, Goto with the draping DDT and the corner drop kick. The spinning Oshiguroshi by Goto. He had to tease. He had to fight out of the game over. He countered the go to sleep with a headbutt. They traded blows again. They were just going crazy. The crowd, that is. Goto hits an Oshiguroshi, followed up with a GTR and gets the win. So Hiroki Goto wins the Never Openweight Championship. I like this match. It surprisingly went. It was better than what I thought it was going to be. It went. It did not. It didn't overstay its welcome. I thought they might try to drag this out because it's a little bit later in the card, but no, it did not drag on too long. They kept it condensed to where it was where they kept it interesting. Um, it told a good story. Kenta, just trying to take shots at Goto, trying to just beat him up. And then, Goto had to overcome, and he got his revenge, particularly for Shibata. I kind of wish Shibata had been out there, but, oh well. He got revenge in his honor, and um, I was kind of disappointed because I thought, well, what are they going to do with Kenta? What are they going to do with Kenta now? And that question got answered much later, but we'll do that a little bit. We'll talk about that in a few more minutes when we come up to that part of the review. But I thought it was a great match, Coco. I was very entertained by it, very surprised about how well this turned out.
Yeah. The Goto Kenta match is probably the stiffest match of the weekend. They were really fucking going at it, and I enjoyed it. There was a huge fucking headbutt, and a lot of people were like, should they have done it? I don't know. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this, and I wanted both guys to fucking win. This was amazing. This was a fucking, just a stiff fucking competition. All right, Booms. Now fucking the lazy tag. Go ahead. Oh, and Pancake, who just says stuff for, he says Jay White should have been double champ. That would have went over like a fucking wet fart.
Yeah, that one went over like a fart in church.
Yeah.
Jay White versus Kota Ibushi. What can I say? Fuck you, I called it. I fucking called it. It was our buddy Wrestling Renton said, yesterday. So if you haven't heard our review of Night 1, you can always check that out. It's on our YouTube page, KocoSports, KOCO Sports, over on YouTube. It's just ghetto. Sometimes his booking can be just very predictable. And I was like, there's no way in hell they're going to have Jay White lose 2 nights in a row. He's going to lose his heat. They need a challenger for the champion. Plus, the whole match is being presented as like redemption. Like, if you win this, you can get back into title contention. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way they're going to have Ibushi, beat White and have White, start all over again. They're not going to do that. So they did what they always do, and I finally figured it out, Coco. This is what frustrates me about Jay White in general.
I don't know if you know this, but he's actually a great wrestler.
No, really, he's okay. He's really not that bad. And I understand, to me, I feel like it's lazy booking. It's, well, I'm a heel, get it?
Yeah.
As you would say. I mean, these two actually had a pretty good match on there. They had spots where they saved Ibushi. I mean, these two fired up. Ibushi flipped the switch, started kicking the shit out of everybody. Um, they had, Geto had to run interference. It was okay for what it was. But here's the problem.
It was not okay, but go
It
on.
would be one thing if Jay White cheated, to win, which, typical, classic bad guy move. But here's the problem. It's like he brings the entire fucking circus to town every time he has a match. It would be one thing if, okay, he won this time because Ghetto interfered, or it would be one thing if he won because he hit a low blow, or it'd be one thing if he threw somebody into the referee or slung the referee out himself. Or it would be another thing if, okay, somebody from the Bullet Club came in and, jumped the good guy while the referee wasn't looking. But every goddamn thing gets done every single fucking match. I mean, it's the same fucking match, okay? Jay White doesn't want to wrestle, so he goes to the outside. It's like, no, I'll wait. And then Ghetto gets up on the apron, so the good guy gets distracted. And then Jay White comes in. They start wrestling. They start establishing here. Then the good guy starts to get advantage. And then Ghetto gets up on the apron, and he either distracts the referee for the low blow, or he gets ready to hit the good guy with a foreign object, or he hands a foreign object over to Jay White. And then, oh no, it's like the good guy's going to win now. Ghetto pulls the referee out, or oh, they finally get their hands on Ghetto. Oh, no, now Jay White gets hits him before he can hit Ghetto. And then we're going to run some more interference, and here comes somebody from the Bullet Club. But they do it every fucking match, and it's just like, pick one. Fucking pick. We get it. You're a goddamn heel. And it's just like the whole outside interference thing, I find it to be unnecessary. I do think Jay White is a pretty good wrestler. And it's one thing, if you do like a spot or two in there to kind of, to save face with the good guy, it's like, well, if he hadn't done that, he still, he would have won. All that makes me so angry. But it's just like, okay, guys, let's do the hits. Ghetto, you up on the apron? Okay, good. Okay, well, quick. Now, slide me some brass knucks. I'm going to hit this guy with a chair. Now, let me throw the guy into the referee. You pull the referee out right before I mean, it's just the same thing every match. And I know you're trying to build up sympathy, but it's just, find a different way to fucking cheat. Just do something different. I mean, it's just the same formula. And it's like, oh, it frustrates you because he's a good heel. No, it frustrates me because it's fucking lazy.
Me and Hunk, I talked about the Goto Kento match going, I wish it never ends. Boom, so let me pitch you this idea to get Jay White over. Because here's the thing. Do you know what people were saying in our section? Just fucking end the match. They should have went shorter. This should have been 14 minutes shorter.
It wasn't for a championship. It was not for a championship.
It was for a bronze medal that didn't exist.
Exactly. They should not have gone for 25 minutes. And I don't think they even should have gone for 20.
They shouldn't have went for fucking 10. Here's the thing. We didn't want the Goto and Kenta match to end, but we wanted the Jay White Ibushi match to end instantly. New Japan doesn't have enough titles. I mean, we're always saying that, right? I mean, if I see anything on the internet, like, New Japan doesn't have enough titles. We'll have the Bill Goldberg title. Hear me out. We'll give it to Jay White, and Jay White goes down there and hits his finisher and ends the fucking match in 1 minute. And then we don't have to see Jay White anymore. And then all the Jay White fans can be like, he's fucking amazing. And we're like, fucking goddamn right he is. The Bill Goldberg title needs to come to New Japan because we don't have enough titles. And dude, for real, we just wanted it to end. Like, we just look at it and like, dude, it's got to end soon, right? Like, we didn't even care if Ibushi won. We just wanted it to end. Like, if fucking someone came with a fucking horse and fucking the horse pinned them both and the fucking horse wins the bronze medal, we'd been happy. 25 fucking minutes? No. All right, listen, Booms, I know you got connections in New Japan, and we both admit that they don't have enough titles. Bring the motherfucking Bill Goldberg title for Jay White. Because then all those people that fucking are like, Jay White's the fucking greatest, they're pleased. People like me, fucking who hate him, are pleased. Everyone's fucking pleased. And he's a heel, get it? He beats everyone in 10 seconds. Be fucking amazing. And then he'll never have to wrestle for another title because he has the Bill Goldberg title. That's big brain. I think fucking, you know what?
Hmm.
Don't fix something that isn't broke. If he wins, it isn't broke. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. New Japan needs like 30 more titles. That's something we can agree on. There's not enough. Um, yeah, it's definitely broke. Like, if I was Jay White, I would seriously, like, legit. I'm not even being fucking sarcastic. If I was Jay White, every Wrestle Kingdom, I'd apologize for the match that follows me. Just fucking apologize. And the thing is, people are like, oh no, no, it's fucking getting over. At Wrestle Kingdom, he has killed the fucking crowd 4 fucking events in a row. And I don't have a memory to go back even farther than that. Because I didn't fucking realize he existed before that.
That and the concussions.
Yeah. Like, whatever, dude. I fucking. Yeah, but just fucking end it, man. Just end it. You're a fucking heel. Just end it. Ibushi, you need to do the fucking job. All right, we minus 24. 58 seconds. Jay White, of course he has to roll out, because then how are we supposed to know he's the heel if he doesn't roll out? Am I right? Fucking he rolls out, and fucking we like, boo. That's the noise fucking a Tokyo Dome makes, if any. And then he rolls back in and fucking hits the switchblade or the fucking Chuck E. Cheese or whatever the fuck his stupid finish is called. And then fucking 1, 2, 3, and be like, oh my god, the Bill Goldberg title won it again. And be like, thank fucking God.
But Koco, you're just upset because he's a really, really good heel. You're
Yes.
supposed to hate him, so he must be doing his job.
Exactly. Exactly. I love spending fucking $250 to stare at the fucking roof of the Tokyo Dome. Like fucking people message me like, did Jay White? I'm like, I'm not watching. Like poor Golden Star's like, did Jay White just hit an FU? I'm like, I'm taking a piss, bro. To Jay White, I'm not paying attention. It's like, yeah. But he's doing a great job. He's a fucking heel. um, Seriously, Ghetto. Bill Goldberg title. Let's make it happen. Everyone wins, including Jay White. I'm a decent man. All right. Speaking of fucking decent men, next match you got Jericho versus Tanahashi, and they used rumors and secrets and fucking handshakes to fucking make this match 1,000 times more important. Booms, hot
Yeah,
tag to you.
yeah. This is where you can work the crowd. You can definitely work like the internet fans because because Tanahashi mentioned the AEW Championship. Jericho went with it. AEW went with it. They let him go out there and wear the AEW Championship. They had a pretty decent match. Tanahashi and Jericho tied it up. I loved it when he took Tanahashi the outside, spiked him with a DDT onto the table to the outside. He called Gino Gambino, I think he called him Fatso or something like that. That was fucking hilarious. Jericho's mocking the air guitars. I hate that they kind of went with a ref bump, especially right after the Jay White match, because I feel like, okay, if you're going to do that, you don't need to do it 2 matches in a row
Yeah, that's the
with the same
ultimate
ref.
sin.
Yeah, you did that 2 matches in a row with the same ref. Jericho hit a low blow. He whipped Tanahashi with his weight belt. Tanahashi made a comeback. He did the dragon screw in the ropes, which is still one of my favorite things to watch him do. He tried to hit a high fly flow, but ran into a into a code breaker. Jericho teasing the walls of Jericho or the lion tamer, whatever you want to call it. Tanahashi fights back, hits a sling blade, um, misses. Anyway, Jericho misses the Judas effect. Tanahashi got a cradle for 2, hit a twist and shout, got a 2, but Jericho countered and rolled I think it was an attempt at a high fly flow, rolled him over, reversed it and got him up into a lion tamer, held him in it for what felt like forever. Tanahashi taps clean in the middle of the ring. Uh, I think that was a really good. This is definitely one of the better of Jericho's matches. Because usually, sometimes his matches, like especially his matches with his match with, in my opinion, Okada didn't translate very well, didn't do all that well. It felt like he was just Jericho's wrestling over his head on that one, but this one he kind of felt at home with Tanahashi. I think they had a great match. I love how they played everybody to, because without that intrigue about, well, if I win, I should get a shot at the AEW Championship. No, I don't think anybody. I mean, I think they would have cared. They were like, oh, this is an interesting matchup, but it added drama to that, and which makes this win even more kind of heartbreaking for fans. It's kind of like, oh, now we don't get to see Tanahashi wrestle for the AEW Championship, and plus it gives a little bite back to Jericho. So great props to both of them, and I really do hope there is something between New Japan and AEW. I really do, but I'm not going to hold my breath over it.
Yeah. Pancake saying Jay White is the best wrestler. When you just say crazy stuff over and over, it has no
It doesn't
value.
make it true.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
like saying, Dave Coco is the sexiest man alive. It's just, you can say it as many times as you want, but we all know that I am.
Chris Jericho, Tanahashi. First off, they worked us in the right way.
Exactly.
The AEW storyline made it 1,000 times better. The match was great. Tanahashi came in too cocky. Tanahashi tapping out shocked us. Overall, I really enjoyed it. And Chris Jericho in the post match thing basically called AEW and New Japan out. And I'm paraphrasing here. He's like, "Are you gonna be bitches?" You know what I mean? Like, are you hurt feelings are gonna stop this relationship? Because here's the thing: evil wins if AEW and New Japan don't work together. Period. Evil wins. And
Not,
Chris
no, no, not
Jericho,
not the wrestler evil, just evil in
yeah,
general. Not,
just evil in general. But
not the cool evil.
yeah, but cause to me like Jericho, a lot of times he's like, oh, thank him. I'm actually legit thanking him because like, here's the thing: if they don't work together, I think I'm gonna fucking officially be done AEW because they're on fucking thin ice as it is. Like, I just watch it and I'm like, ah, oh, you know. So I don't know. I just hope they get their shit together because it's fucking stupid. If you're not number one, you should work with everybody. Period. You know. It's just yeah, it's insane. Plus, it's like, how do you not work together? You're an American company. You're a Japanese company, and not all that, but some of me and Boom Boom are older. Some of our greatest fucking memories, including with Liger, was WCW working with Japan. That was amazing, and you can recreate that, and you can have great fucking matchups. But Jericho's trying to make it happen. At least it seems that way, and it's just starting to get a little bit ridiculous. All right, Booms. I gotta go to right. Oh, I said he's the best New Japan wrestler. Best wrestler in the world is Jeff Hart. Okay, Pancake. Pancake. Thanks for being here to comment. Yeah, I didn't lie to the show. Um, yeah. Let's just talk main event now. I think the main event was the match of the night. I think you
Yeah.
know. Go ahead, sir.
I mean, it was written in Spanish on Naito's robe. It was like all or nothing. And these two guys, I mean, there was a lot of hype, a lot of anticipation behind this match. In my opinion, both of these guys delivered. These two tied it up. I think the big story of this was early on in the match, Okada went after Naito's knee. He hurt his knee, took him to the outside, just drove his knee directly through the commentary's table. And anytime he started to get in trouble, he would go right back to the knee. And then you had Naito fighting from underneath, trying to keep his balance. I mean, there were times where he would hit moves, but he couldn't stay on his feet because his knee was just absolutely killing him. I love the drop kick from the floor, the poison rana off the top, the tombstone, the reversals. Um, there was even a moment where Naito dusted off the Stardust press. Now this one cost him like a couple of years ago, but this time he hit it. Only managed to get a 2 count, but it was still kind of cool to see him pull that dust
Dude,
off that old move.
it was fucking
Yeah, I think
amazing. I was so
the
proud of him.
last time he yeah, the last time he did the Stardust press was in that match 2 years ago, and before then he hadn't done it in a while. So this is only like the second time in probably about 3, 4 years that he's actually done that move. So they played off of that. They kept having um, Okada hit like a series of rainmakers. Naito being defiant, constantly just spitting in Okada's face. Um, Naito fired up. It seemed like, I thought maybe they're going to go. I don't know what they're going to do because this is New Japan. But Naito fires up. Okada tried, and Naito countered back with a Destino, gets the win. And I think the important thing here is not necessarily that we made history. This was kind of like a huge. I don't want. I guess yeah, maybe I will call it a huge apology from New Japan to Naito for kind of like just kind of dismissing him a couple of years ago to go a different direction with the company, and that kind of left him out there. But so not only did he win, he finally slayed the dragon. He finally did something historic that nobody else has done. He's been the first ever double champion in New Japan history as far as that level goes. With the heavyweight and the Intercontinental Championship, it was everything I hoped it would be. Definitely a match of the year candidate. It was a lot of fun. I would suggest if you have not seen this match, please go out of the way to go watch this. If you know about the history, it makes it, even if you don't know the history, it's still a good match. But if you know the history, it's just so special. It's such a lovely moment. And we'll talk about the aftermath later. But Koco, I've got to ask, man, what was it like, you know, as both gentlemen were coming out, as the match progressed, and finally, what was the reaction when it ended?
Um, well, there's a lot to take in. Naito has been the most famous fucking wrestler for a while now. I say it all the time. 19 out of 20 fans in the Tokyo Dome are LIJ fans. Um, People wanted him. I think if he didn't win, a lot of people would have turned. I think New Japan, even though they are a bit predictable at times, and fucking like they did a really good job in the local media saying making it look like Okada was gonna win. So I want to give props, even though they're figuring a formula,
Mm-hmm.
they still like no, this might not you know what I mean. So
Mm-hmm.
overall, it started off a little bit slow and the fans were tired, but it picked up and it was just
Yeah.
crazy. And it was so funny because like people were talking like it was like friendly back and forth. Like there would be like 400 Naito chants and like there's a fucking Okada fan like Okada and Okada. So it was like kind of funny. And then
Oh, you're
fucking
that person. Okay.
nah, that was yeah probably. But
There's
and
always
the thing
this one person in any given New Japan match, in Okada match, you hear Okada. That
yeah
one person. There's always that one, just one person. I don't know. It's like that guy who constantly brings the Washington State flag over
exactly
on ESPN Game Center. There's always that one person in the crowd like Okada, and I'm pretty sure I thought that was you.
yeah. Yeah, but overall, it was a lot of fun. And the funny thing is too, like there was like kind of like kayfabe ribbing. They're like Wrestle Kingdom 9 and 10. We were rooting for Okada. What happened? Oh, you've always been Naito fans. Oh, why didn't Stardust take off? And like it was like kayfabe attacking each other, and it was fucking hilarious. And the funny thing is, I shared my tacos with Hanka, and I'm like Okada, and he's like Naito. I was like, you son of a bitch, I gave you tacos. Like it was a lot. It was like a lot of fun. And yeah, it was great. And it ends with a Destino and he wins both titles. And as Okada's leaving, people just gave him nothing but respect. Omega didn't get that. Fuck you, New Japan. It was just, high level respect. And then Naito put him over and said maybe we'll do it again sometime, and then they saluted him, and it felt good, a feel good moment, which usually they don't do. But what happens next, they usually don't do either. Booms, hot tag to you. What happens after that?
Afterwards, it's Naito's finally taking a moment to, to just kind of soak it all in. Going, this was going to be all or nothing. I've given it everything. I mean, just the crowd just absolutely loving it. And then he's going through the whole, he tells Okada, it's like, hey, we got to do this again. Okada raises his fist. I was like, there's a good moment. He's posing with the championships. He's thanking everybody for their support. He talks about flipping the script, and he says he's never going to forget this weekend. He starts doing okay. We are low, and he starts running down. We are Sonata, Evil, Bushi, and boom, gets jumped by Kenta, and they start throwing punches. Then Naito gets laid out with a penalty kick, and then gets hit with a go to sleep. Then Kenta does the little pose, Shibata's pose on top of his chest with the belt in front of him. And I'm like, and then finally Bushi arrives and runs off Kenta. And I was like, I knew something like this was going to happen. And when I say I knew something like this was going to happen, I know that Kenta was going to come out. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, well, one of the problems is when the good guy finally, after the chase, after struggling, after climbing that mountain, finally conquering, you got to wonder, well, what's next? What is next for the good guy? Because they've made that mistake before in professional wrestling where the good guy wins and it's like, okay, the story's over. And it's like, well, no, we've got to continue this story on. There's got to be a new chapter. There's got to be something else. That's kind of like why attendance and pay-per-view buys and all that stuff kind of went down after Sting won the championship from Lex Luger because it was like, okay, his story's over. He chased the championship, he beat his best friend, he overcame. Boom, he's the WCW champion. Okay, now the story's over and people stop showing up. And the same thing kind of happened with Eddie Guerrero. He won the WWE championship in that match over Brock Lesnar. It was okay. This guy's overcome addiction. He's overcome his own demons. He's overcome the adversity from this monster. He wins. Okay, now what's story's over. Well, this New Japan smartly said, okay, well we got to let people know immediately. We can't have people guessing. Well, what's it going to be? Is the story over? Who's going to be? No, we know immediately out the gate. Here's the bad guy because this is the worst time for this to happen, which makes the best time for a bad guy to attack. There's finally, after years of, he had a short IWGP title run. He comes back, he loses the G1. He comes back the next year and wins it. He goes in this match against Okada. The plans change, so he gets, he loses the championship match. And then all this year he's been struggling. He's been toiling with the Intercontinental Championship. Had the loss to Jay White. Finally over. Not only does he overcome it, he makes history. He becomes the first ever dual champion. I mean, this is going to be historic. This goes down in the history book. No matter what happens now, first ever man to win dual championships. He's like, we did it. We had a hell of a match. It's been a hell of a run. I flipped the script. This is amazing. I want to thank everybody for their support. And it's us. I couldn't do it alone. I couldn't do it. Boom, gets jumped by the bad guy that nobody can fucking stand in New Japan because he's the outsider. He's the Noah guy. He's the guy who failed in the United States. How dare he ruin his moment? And now immediately shift is, how bad beaten up is he? Can he, hang on to both those championships? What's Kenta going to throw at him? Hell, what's the Bullet Club going to throw at him? Because, if you get one, you're going to get them all. There's a lot of questions here. So now we're going to go into New Year's Dash, what is he going to challenge for both belts? Can he only challenge for one belt at a time? How's this going to work? There's a lot of questions here, and I think it worked. I know a lot of people in Japan and even some New Japan fans here over in the United States are like, I can't believe this dork ruined everything. Who the hell does this guy think he is? I don't think he's the right guy to be doing this. Of all the bad guys, you had to pick fucking Kenta. Who the hell do you think you are, New Japan? And I love it. I love it. I think it worked. It was amazing. So, way to open up the next chapter to the story, New Japan.
Yeah, and this is the first time they've done something like this at a Wrestle Kingdom, so it makes it even more interesting. And on top of that, but there is a lot of stuff that people are worried about. Like I heard people saying, well, Naito is cool because he's the anti-hero, and if he's a villain, does he have to be the good guy? And I don't think he has to be, but it will be interesting to see where that goes. But
when it comes to that, I think you can still be you. Like, this is an example why Stone Cold Steve Austin worked. Because, yeah, he was a bad guy, But when he became a good guy, he took everything that made him him, the anti-hero. He took everything that he was directing at the crowd and turned around, but switched it around and turned it at the bad guys. So, and I think Naito could still, get away with it because he's kind of an anti-hero, but if he does the whole anti-establishment thing, but he now directs it towards the Bullet Club, I think it still works.
Yeah, so I'm gonna find it really interesting, and I'm looking forward to New Year's Dash. Overall, I give it a huge win. I think Sonata should have won, and Jay White thing should have been the Jay White match should have been shorter. But besides that, overall, I thought the most emotional fucking thing I've seen in a really long time was the Liger's retirement. The pop of the night was Suzuki. Sonata not winning was a mistake. Jay White going so long was a mistake. Um, Jericho just being a fucking man and telling him this AEW New Japan, get your shit together. Tanahashi tapping out was a bit of a shock. Okada Naito was match of the night. Naito to me, he fucking earned it, and I think I'm a huge Okada fanboy, but man, his fan base needed something. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And and the Kenta thing was just a little icing on a cake, and there's intrigue. And plus, I think too, they're hoping a lot of. This is my theory. I think they're hoping for a lot of newer fans to watch, and then they're like, "Oh, we saw Wrestle Kingdom," and now they're like, "Oh, cool," you know. So
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it was an attention grab, or not even attention grab, but like, "Hey guys, stay with us. We still got amazing shit coming up." Where
Yeah,
usually
we still don't
wrestling.
know at least I haven't seen anything yet about New Year's Dash. I don't think they're going to announce the card to the day of, or actually probably at the event itself.
Yeah, that's very common now. It's kind of a thing. Are you streaming after this? No, I got to go back to work. I'll be streaming hockey and wrestling tomorrow. Sorry to let you down. Boom boom.
Hmm.
Before we plug stuff, do you want to raid Impact Wrestling, who has a lot of viewers, well 90 compared to us, but they're in English, or do you want to go Spanish Lucha Libre AAA, who only has 9?
Let's go into Impact.
All right, Impact it up. Booms, plug some stuff, and then guys, raid with us. Raid with us. We could be the War Raiders.
I thought it was more going to be like the Viking experience, but anyway. Um, Real quick, some notes here. A lot of changes here, or actually one significant change in the year with New Japan is the G1 Climax has been moved to October. Now, this is due to the Olympics being in Tokyo this year. So everything's going to be pretty much normal, like the new beginnings of Sapporo, the new beginnings in Osaka, the New Japan Cup in March, Sakura Genesis March 31st, Don Taku on the excuse me, Genesis on the 31st, Kagashi, and that's Sakura, no, the Genesis. Anyway, Don Taku's going to be April 29th. Don Taku's going to be May 3rd and 4th. Best of the Super Juniors is going to be June 6th. Dominion June 14th, and the G1 Climax is going to start October 16th.
And it's late because of the Olympics.
Exactly. In the meantime, as far as our channel goes, check us out, KocoSports.com. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. That's KocoSports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. I'm sorry, I'm running off a little bit of sleep here.
I'm
I
going
took
off
like a little bit.
zero sleep, and people want me to play
Yeah,
hockey. Is no hockey
yeah.
tonight, gentlemen.
After our show last night, I took a little bit of a power nap, got up. Um, I watched. I had to resume the when the pre-show started at midnight. I was running off very little sleep. Started watching at 1 o'clock when the main event started. By the time Naito won the championship, it was 5:10 a.m. out here in Virginia. I was like, yeah, celebrate really quickly. Turned everything off and went and got in the bed. I woke up probably about an hour and a half ago, and I'm still just running off fumes here. I'm gonna try to grab a shower. Hopefully that'll perk me up a little bit, and then get through the rest of the day.
And I have to finally head back to work. So yeah, hard times. I've been up for like 24 plus hours, and
But Coco, it was entertaining. Damn it, it was worth it. We can't do this
yeah.
shit every month, or hell every year. But fuck, dude, this was fun.
Yeah. Overall, it's Wrestle Kingdom best event of the year. Pancake, thanks for fucking busting our balls in the chat. Much love. Let's go rate
Yeah, lots of
Impact
love to you,
Wrestling,
Pancake
and
Drago.
everyone check out Wrestling Rant. And he hosted our show
Yeah.
earlier, and he does some amazing shit. And he decided to get sleep and be comprehensive. Is that the word I'm looking for? Make sense?
Coherent.
Coherent. That's the word. Novelist 2002, whatever fucking year it is. Booms, let's go raid Impact. With that,
Let's go right Impact.
we are over. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum, bum, ba-na-na-na-na. Hey,
Hey.
ba-dum-bum, bum, bum. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum, bum. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum, bum. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum, bum. And with that, YouTube, much love. I am over. Ba-na-na-na.